I have received countless messages about codependency. And a lot of times when I am doing cards, it will come out that the person is codependent. So codependency basically means that you are overly dependent on another person. A lot of times you see codependencies with someone who has an addiction. So for example, one person might be an alcoholic and they might be, doing alcoholic things, drinking too much, not going to work, being sick, being late for different things, stuff like that. And they might be in a relationship with somebody that I will call an enabler. And this is the person they're codependent with. And this person isn't an addict, but this person is enabling them to be an addict because they're covering up for them, helping them, the kind of things that an enabler does. An enabler enables you to keep on fucking up. Okay? So one person is fucking up and the other person is enabling them. So someone asked me on numerous different occasions, what can you do about healing a codependency? Because this is not uncommon. It happens a lot. So I was online. You guys know I love Instagram. And at the.love.therapist. So basically it's the love therapist with a dot between each word. I saw a list and I was like, ooh, you guys know I love a good list. So I'm going to introduce myself and then we're going to talk about this list that has tips for healing codependency. I am QueenAusetHeru and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it on to anybody and everybody that you know who needs to hear about healing codependency, okay? Please leave us a positive comment in the comment section. Please stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to read 2 positive comments from previous videos. And if you want to get a reading done, I am a card shark. I got so many tarot and oracle decks surrounding me you wouldn't believe. I think I own, altogether, half of them are in storage, but I own about 400 decks. From reviewing them and using them, I just love the different themes. So if you want to get a reading done, hit me up. I got you. My readings are very detailed and I got you. If you want to get any of the information about Patreon or any of those other things, all of my information is under this video. So feel free if you want to make an appointment or if you want to get some Ask an Aquarius merchandise, all of that is underneath this video. Okay? All right, let's get to it. Oh, I am goddess all set for Halloween. So I decided to be my mother for Halloween. All right, so let's take a look at our tips. Number 1, if you have a problem with codependency, practice identifying, validating, and expressing your feelings. This could be as simple as going to therapy, or it could be as simple as doing therapeutic exercises at home. Journaling would help with this too. When I first started to work on feelings and getting more emotionally intelligent, it was not easy to identify, validate, and express my feelings. So this is something that I really had to spend time on. And I read a lot of books. I did Louise L. Hay, Iyanla Vanzant, Colin Tippin, Eckhart Tolle. I mean, I read a lot of books. There's another book called Emotional Intelligence. I just read a lot of stuff about feelings and how to express them, identify them, and validate them. I also did the book called Nonviolent Communication. That was helpful too. Number 2, work on building self-esteem and self-worth. Yeah, the higher your self-esteem and self-worth is, the less you're going to be dependent on this other person. Pay attention to your needs and practice meeting them first. Again, lack of dependency. So if you can pay attention to what your needs are and practice, taking care of your own needs, you won't be overly dependent on another person. There's nothing wrong with being interdependent. This means like a marriage or a relationship where both people are reciprocal, they help each other, they look out for each other. There's nothing wrong with that. The problem comes in when you're overly dependent on that person, or when they're covering up your bad behavior, which is keeping you from getting healthy. Practice setting and maintaining healthy boundaries. If you are somebody who's an enabler, you probably don't have any boundaries, or you have difficulty with boundaries. So this will help you, especially as the enabler. It'll help both people, but especially as the enabler, it'll help you know when to say no to the addict, or no to the other person, or tell them, I'm not covering for you this time. All of that will happen when you have healthy boundaries. Give to others only when you have the energy and you want to. Enablers often have a problem with this one too, because what happens is that they give energy, and they give and give and give and give and give, and they become drained, and then they have to give some more because the person that's draining them doesn't understand the word no, or doesn't understand, well, they might need some time. They're not considerate of how you are or how you're feeling. So you have to establish that healthy boundary that we heard in number 4, and then if you do want to help them, you have to make sure you have the energy and that you really want to, and they're not just coercing you into something that you don't want to do. Practice accepting others' help. So if you're somebody who is codependent and on that one particular person, maybe if you had a support system and others were being helpful, then you wouldn't be draining and leaning on that other person. Identify your values, beliefs, and opinions, and practice maintaining them even if others don't agree. So the other person may not agree with your values, your beliefs, and opinions, but maintain them anyway. That's a very strong boundary too. So don't give up your beliefs and your opinions because the other person doesn't agree. I don't do that with anybody. That's a very important boundary. Practice being assertive, direct, and straightforward in communication. Oftentimes, the enabler is very passive aggressive. I've noticed that. And the other person, the other side of the coin, that person is often assertive, direct, and straightforward, but doesn't always take no for an answer. So this is a good one. Be assertive, be straightforward. Don't be passive aggressive. Don't beat around the bush. Well, I don't really want to lie for you. I'm not lying for you again. Okay? Not passive aggressive with it, just straight up. No, I'm not doing it. Number 9, address underlying issues, trauma, anxiety, etc. I think we all need to do this. I think we all need to look and see, do we have traumas? Do we have anxieties, depressions? Do we have underlying issues? Because most of us do. And most of our issues can be treated. They can be healed. They can be worked on. Sometimes some things is lifelong. You have to deal with it lifelong. But you might need medicine. You might need talk therapy, something like that. But most of the traumas, most of the anxieties, most of the things that people have, we can at least make them better, if not totally heal them. Or learn how to cope better with them. That kind of thing. So I feel like we all should do this one. I think if you're 18 or above, well, your frontal lobe develops in your 20s. So by the time you're 25 years old, I think you should have identified any underlying issues and at least started to address them. Spend time alone. Some people spend no time alone, and it's the weirdest thing in the world to me. And I guess it's weird to them when people spend too much time alone too. So on the flip. But you should be able to self-soothe. You should also be able to enjoy your own company. How am I going to want to spend time with you if you don't even enjoy you? So learn to spend time alone doing things like painting, writing, not just on the internet all the time, but painting, writing, reading, just like, look at your interests. So spend an hour, meditating or something like that. Develop interests that you do alone. Recognize what you can't change others and can change yourself. You cannot change others. Even if you bully or coerce a person into doing what you want them to do, when you're not around or when it's convenient for them, they're going to do what they want. Okay? So if you're using some form of aggression to try to make a person change, you're wasting your time. The only person you can change is yourself. You can decide something is unacceptable. You can decide you don't want to be a certain kind of way. I work on myself every single day. Whenever I identify something about me that I'm like, I don't think you should do that, dog, I immediately start at least the mental work of trying to think about how not to do that. Okay? So this thing is hot. It's rubber. It is hot. So yeah, you can change yourself. So spend time doing journaling and spend time doing stuff like that, because you can change yourself through your thoughts and your actions, your behaviors. Practice self-care. If you're codependent or not, you definitely need to practice self-care. And self-care has all to do with loving yourself, doing things that are self-loving, taking care of yourself, just in the basic ways, but also going above and beyond, because you're doing basic things for your physical, but then mind, body, spirit. So going above and beyond in those self-care areas too. And the last one, seek help and support. If you are trying to heal from codependency, or if you recognize that you're in a codependency, seek help, seek support. Get therapy. So many people are afraid to go to therapy. If you can't go to therapy, or you just can't bring yourself to it, find some type of professional, a spiritual professional, anything along those lines. Or you also could talk to friends. Sometimes maybe you have a friend who's really wise, an elder or something. Maybe you have to get support from a support system or something like that. But don't sleep on the effects of therapy. I talk to people all the time about this, and a lot of people really don't trust it. I totally understand that. But there are alternatives. Do something. Even if you want to get self-help books and work on yourself, that's a real powerful way. So we got some tips, and there is let me see, codependency. There is an author. Her name is Melody Beatty. That's her name. And she has, let me think, what does she have? She has a deck of cards, and I know all of you don't use or cards, but her deck of cards is not divination. Her deck of cards is particularly for that. Is for codependency. Her books are for codependency as well. So we're going to find right now where our positive comments are, and then I'm going to read them. I found them. The first one is from Dimples Chick 0216. I love your laugh and smile. Thank you. Just like an Aquarius, we shine bright like a diamond. Aquarius do shine. That's why so many people jealous of us. They be hating. You see me rolling and you hating. That's how they be. Seriously. And we don't even be doing nothing. Aquarius be minding our business. Now sometimes, yeah, we not innocent all the time, But most of the time we be minding our business and people just hate on us. They're just jealous because we do shine. But shine anyway. Shine anyway. Casey Perez. Hi, Casey. It wasn't me that sent you your crown, but a beautiful black queen as yourself needs a crown that is as beautiful as yourself. May you have a very blessed year. Casey, that was so sweet. Thank you so much. And I did find out who sent me the crown. It was my buddy LD. My buddy LD on Facebook sent me that crown. It was the pretty one with the rose gold and the pink in it. And I wore it last time I did videos, and I found out who sent it. So again, thank you, LD. I love that crown. I love all of them, actually. They're really pretty. So I love that. And thank you for your sweet words, Casey. Now remember, guys, if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button and come back soon because I got a lot more to say. See you later.